like in last year's game, everybody was sort of freaking out because we sort of just like once we got up 21-3, we just sat on the ball and just ran that type of thing for the rest of the game because we didn't want to show too much. But you can't afford to do that. We're gonna be basically be showing everything because 2 weeks later you gotta be at home and play another big game against your in-state rival. So having your rival like 2 out of the first 3 weeks, like yeah, it's gonna cause you to actually be more aggressive. And I'm interested to see what Taylor Mauser had in this bag of tricks. Another thing I wanted to add is I didn't put this down in my notes, but I did watch it from yesterday about how the possible certain formations where mostly he said they're probably gonna be in 11 and 12 personnel, but he said he wouldn't be opposed to 13 or 14 personnel. And when I heard 14 personnel, I'm like, 14 personnel is terrifying because what are you gonna how what are you gonna do with four tight ends on the field?
Let's be honest. I think we have that capability. We might pull some offensive linemen and they could just essentially become tight end. I'm half expecting either one of the Barrett brothers or Trevor Burr or even Jim Boniface to line up a tight end at this point. I don't know what to expect. That'd be hilarious. That'd be crazy.
Actually, and then it's funny you said that because he mentioned Jim Boniface as getting some work in at tight end. So maybe that's something that maybe we'll see like a lineman a touchdown pass maybe in the red zone. Who knows?
Yeah. And I think the same thing back to the offensive line. It looks like, the Taylor Mauser, all the guys in the offensive line, in that offensive line room, they're getting rotated to play different positions on the line, whether it's at center, guard, right and left, and tackle. So I think it's for Mauser in the offense. They're trying to figure out what would be the best five to put on the offensive line at any given moment. They see to keep. But I think it's also nice that they're preparing everyone to play different positions on the line, so that way your team, you as a player, you can understand how to play this role in this situation. So I think it's great that this is the type of preparation that the offense is taking in order to get Iowa State to where we as fans think should be, and that's contending for Big 12 titles and contending for college football playoff spots.
Completely agree, and I think that the rotation will also help with the freshness of the team and being getting guys experience. So hey, maybe Lord willing, we hope this injury bug doesn't hit this room. But if it does, then we'll be able to have people who have been able to have in game experience to come in and play, so they don't struggle and their confidence won't be shaken.
Yeah, yeah. I think one position that I think we have seen some bright spots with outside the offensive line is the wide receiver room.
Yeah,
Especially Xavier Townsend and Chase Soul. Those two, what Mauser in his press conference says, they basically look like they've been there since day one. They don't look like brand new components to the team. They don't look like transfers coming in learning a new offense for the first time. He's mentioned great work ethic, a lot of good habits for the wide receiver room. This is one of the strongest strong receiver rooms that Mauser's had during his time at Iowa State, and that's over 10 years. That includes the likes of Alan Lazar, Hakeem Butler, Deshaunte Jones, Matthew Eden, Deshaunte Jones, to name a few. So that's a Xavier Hutchinson. So that's quite a loaded receiver to talk about. And just the fact that this is one of the stronger ones just shows the progress that has been made for Iowa State in the last 10 or so years.
Right, and I mean it shows the testament of how good a evaluator of talent that Noah Polley is. Noah Polley is an elite evaluator of talent at the receiver position. Really, just to the fact of we have changed our philosophy on the type of wide receiver that we get. We used to always get like a tall guy. I think that's because we were trying to find someone with the ilk of Hakeem Butler. But Hakeem Butler is a freak at that size, and I mean, luckily with if you guys tune in, I believe we did a recruiting show about the wide receivers coming in on the 2026 class a week ago.